The Doc is In is sponsored by Amada Senior Care.
Fox 56 News Chief Medical Contributor Dr. Ryan Stanton is in studio.
Good morning, Doc. This morning he's focusing on the overdose rates here in Kentucky and across the rest of the nation.
Yeah, finally a little bit of good news. We're seeing the overdose rates, of course, now in the opioid epidemic running into almost 3 decades. I mean, really since the approval of OxyContin back in 1996. This is really running on nearly 3 decades of unfortunate loss of life. So let's talk about some of the good news finally. In 2020, coming up, we just had the release of the data that shows we are finally starting to see a drop in the overdose deaths here. As you can notice, we actually had a planing out of this data right before COVID, that significant COVID increase and rise, and now starting to see those numbers trend down. The good news is Kentucky, in a way, has led the way in that we are now 2 years into decreasing numbers. So let's check out the numbers here within Kentucky. In 2023, we had 1,984 overdose deaths. That's 9.8 decrease from 2022, 2135 in 2022, which is a 5% decrease from 21. The 2250 in 2021 was the peak during COVID of our overdose deaths. And of course, in 2020, we had that huge increase, a 49% increase because of COVID itself. There's a few things that need to happen to make sure we continue this trend down, because every one of those numbers is actually a human life, and we want to save as many as possible. First is risk mitigation. This has to do with the needle exchange. This has to do with access to Narcan. This is not encouraging usage. This is saving lives and buying time until we can get to recovery. And that's all this is about, is buying time until we can get folks into recovery, get them the help that they need, get them their lives back. Evidence-based pain management, treating pain based on the science, the evidence, what is best for that condition, not based on what a drug company told us 25 years ago. Addiction prevention, this also means the shortest courses, the safest option, the evidence-based pain medicine, preventing addiction from the beginning. And finally is going to be those pathways to recovery, the ways that we can get folks out of these situations, get them the help they need, whether it's bridge clinics, whether it's recovery, whether it's inpatient, outpatient, the resources they need to help them recover from the opioid epidemic, because it is an ongoing challenge. And one of the greatest things we're seeing right now is those that have lived it are now the ones that are helping folks out of it, including at my hospital, where we have peer specialists that assist and help those along the pathway of recovery.
And that's what I was going to ask. When we see more and more people helping each other, I have to imagine that is very beneficial in getting others to seek out the help and not get to a point where they are overdosing.
Absolutely. I think the greatest gift we'll have moving forward are the peer specialists that have walked the walk and been there themselves.
All right, Doc, great information. Good to see you this morning. We'll see you soon, I'm sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, Dr. Ryan Stanton, our Chief Medical Contributor. We have one more hour of news right after this.
You're watching Fox 56 News. Our home, your news.